What did that feel? You getting in there and just do your thing?
Yeah, it was so fun. It was great to just finally be out there. You know, I've always dreamed of playing college football, and I remember just thinking to myself, man, I've been dreaming of this for a very long time, and it was really fun to just kind of be out there and live it for a little bit.
What's your biggest lesson or takeaway after finishing your first game of college football?
Yeah, just enjoy every moment. You know, I was just so thankful to be able to go out there and just play, and I think I just approach it with a joy and thankfulness to be able to go play. So.
What was the plan, at least maybe from coaches, about what they told you about how soon you might play, or were you surprised that you didn't get in there until midway through the fourth quarter? Or?
I mean, Coach Streeter and Coach Sweeney had a plan from the start. I mean, how much was really being like, I'm not really sure how to answer that question.
So they didn't tell you like you were going to get you in there in the first half, or we plan to?
I mean, we had some like hypothetical plans, but you know, you just got to trust the flow of the game, and that was really the plan. And you know, DJ had a great start, and you know, just kind of went with it. So.
What was it like? Like when they say, "All right, Cade, it's your turn."
Yeah.
Get out there. Can you talk us through kind of that emotion? And I mean, did you hear anything? Like, what was that like?
No, yeah, it was super fun. Just you know, Hunter Helms was like, "All right, Cade, start warming up," and I was like, "Sweet, let's go." You know, and I was ready, and you know, we've had a great fall camp, and just you know, we've been competing every day, and but also you know that QB room we're all really tight. It's been super fun, and like I remember we talk about it all the time, and I talk to other people about it all the time. Like I don't think it's very normal to have a group of guys like we have, just all super close and like you know no tension at all. Just all a really tight group, and you know when I kind of got the call to go start warming up, everybody was you know all the QBs kind of rallied around me, and it was really cool to kind of have that.
DJ was obviously asked about you getting in. There's been all that talk leading up to this first game. To hear him, like you said, you know that he supports you and is excited for you. But what's it like to hear those comments and that support when you look back on it?
Yeah, so awesome just to have a guy like that. Kind of have my back, you know. Hopefully he knows I've had his throughout the whole process, and just through all this stuff that he's been through. I mean, he's an incredible guy and also an incredible quarterback. So it's been so fun to just kind of go through it all with him, and just definitely means a lot. So
that first snap, did things all of a sudden go really quick, or did it kind of slow down for you? What was that moment like? That ball hits your hand.
It felt good. It felt good. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just football. So.
Are you as comfortable rolling out, throwing on the move as you are in the straight drop back situations?
Oh yeah. I mean, I love doing both. I mean, I love dropping back and kind of doing that, but you know, getting outside the pocket, I think it forces defenses to kind of not stay in the same position the whole time, and to just kind of be able to do both it's hard to play as a defense, just because you know you can't just play heavy inside the box. You got to be able to you know follow the quarterback, follow the running back outside the edge, just kind of play both. So.
At what point did that really start to become part of your game? Just moving the pocket, getting outside, throwing the line?
I would say kind of like as soon as I started playing varsity, in high school, that really just kind of started moving up more and more. You know, I started growing up a little bit, getting a little faster and getting a little stronger, and just kind of being able to get outside the pocket and just kind of watching older guys do it just kind of really encouraged me. So.
Cade, what was your perception of what DJ was going through from your view from outside, and what have you learned about him since you've been here?
Perception from the game or just over the past couple of years?
What he was going through last year.
Yeah, you know, I think quarterbacks will always get way too much praise and way too much hate, and just what he's been able to do in the past 8 months since I've been here, and how people were talking about him last season. Just it's been super awesome to see how much he's worked, and I mean it shows definitely. You know, I wasn't here last season, but just how far he's come in the last 8 months. He's a grinder, and it's been just very encouraging. So.
Coach Sweeney has talked a lot about DJ's leadership and just being an unquestioned leader in the locker room. I guess what have you learned from the way he leads, and is there anything you can take from that?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Streeter talks about leadership all the time and communication, and that's just kind of something that you need to be able to do as a quarterback. And it's been awesome to just kind of build off each other throughout that whole process. And but definitely leadership has just always been something that, you know, we always at quarterback you're always trying to feed off of or wanting other people to feed off of you, but you know every once in a while you got to feed off each other too. So
The throw you made, I guess, down the seam, that safety sitting there. Can you take me behind, like in your mind, like the fine line between squeezing it in there
Yeah.
and maybe it not being a good decision if it's picked off or something like that? Can you maybe
yeah.
grade that just looking back? Because on TV it looked like a really good throw. And
Yeah, so it's pretty much like a fake screen to the boundary, and the number one and number two receiver are doing switch release. So outside guys coming in, inside guys going out, and we're pretty much reading inside out. And it started on the number one, but then I kind of saw out of my left view that the outside guy actually had to take an inside release. So that was kind of just done for, just because that's a tough throw with the outside release. Or with the inside release, outside press corner. So just based on that, I'm making it way too complicated. But I saw him open, and it was open. So fit it in the hole.
As you've looked at the film from this game, what have you guys kind of see that maybe you weren't recognizing in the moment as an offense, how Georgia Tech was able to just cause some problems for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, in the first quarter, I don't think Georgia Tech was really stopping us. I think Clemson was stopping us, and just some little things. You know, it's the first game jitters sometimes, and just with the snap, you know, it's a tough high snap. That ball was flying back there. And then on the fumble, that's a really good play by the defense. And but you know, I think with the first game, you know, there's going to be ups and downs. I mean, Coach Trier was literally just talking to us yesterday when we had practice. He was like, the amount that we're going to improve from week 1 to week 2 is going to be exponential. That's when the most growth happens throughout the season. And I think that'll really show just when it comes to the details and little things. So
That's traditionally a really big week for a college team,
Mhm.
that week 1 to week 2. You guys have a short week for it, though. What sort of challenges is that presenting for you guys, and how are the coaches kind of setting you up for success with that?
yeah, before we started Georgia Tech prep, kind of near the end of fall camp, we ended up getting in 2 or 3 days of Furman prep just to kind of get ready for it. And then, you know, we hit those 2 or 3 days, and then we immediately go to Georgia Tech. But I think that really just kind of helped us get a little bit of an idea, and then an idea of what they're running, just kind of how to prepare for them, so that whenever we're coming into, you know, yesterday, we don't have a lot of time to talk about Georgia Tech anymore. Now we're going straight to Furman. We're not coming into it empty-handed. We're ready and a little bit prepared. Already kind of know what their defense is doing, know some of their personnel, and just will kind of help us be more prepared than we're not just going into a 3-day stretch we've kind of had, you know, 2 days before this. So.
How excited are you for that first game in there?
Oh, I'm so excited. I think I came to my first Clemson game my junior year, so obviously have not been born or raised a Clemson fan, coming to games my whole life, but I'm so excited. I'm super excited. So.
What's been the biggest adjustment from high school to college?
Yeah, I would say the trenches, and just, you know, how fast the D-line is. That is definitely, I mean, I am going against the best defensive line in the country, so that's maybe a little bit of a factor into that. But just, you know, you got Miles Murphy at 6'5", 295 coming at you at running a 4.4. So you pull in some of those zone reads and he catches you. That doesn't happen very often in high school, where I used to be able to get away with that. So I would say that's probably a big difference so far.
Is that the purple jersey syndrome that I was talking about, how fast those guys are?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Cade, where do you think you, and looking back to 3 weeks of camp or whatever, where do you think you made your biggest strides, and what exiting camp did you feel like you really needed to sort of zone in on to improve?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest way that I really strengthened was just the playbook and the protections. I'm like so happy that I came in January, because I can't imagine learning this all in fall camp. Although it can be done, and you know, Antonio is killing it right now while doing it. But you know, at the quarterback position, there's a lot that you need to do, and it's been super helpful that I got to do that. But during fall camp, I would just say, you know, just finalize and learn the offense has been really, really good. And just I feel very solid in that now. But, you know, going forward, I think just continue to focus it 1 week at a time. And I think my biggest part that I'm really excited to kind of learn and get better at is just game prepping and just kind of picking away defenses and just seeing new strategies, see what coaches are seeing, just learning how to prepare for a game each week. So.
Antonio was saying you were recruiting him pretty hard down the stretch. Just what was your message to him, and what do you feel like he brings to the offense?
Yeah, I mean he is really good. He is a really good football player. But what I like most about him, he's his joy, and just whenever he goes out there, he is just always happy, always has a smile on his face. But very, very humble guy. I mean, you pick out 5 other freshman receivers that are starting, or not starting, but getting a lot of playing time in the country. I mean, nobody's going to be as humble and hungry as he is. And that really picks him out. And just he's always wanting to learn more. He's always asking questions, asking Tay, asking Joe, asking other guys, how can I get better at this? How can I get better at that? And that's what's really setting him apart. So.
Talk about joy. I mean, everybody saw you go up and high-five DJs or coming off the field
Yeah.
with the touchdown. Did you see him and he was going up, or were you going up, or how did that?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, we just kind of looked at each other and we were just like, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, it just kind of happened. So.
Is it harder to maintain your mechanics when you are moving, throwing on the run, or is that something you've repped so much that it's just sort of comes natural to you?
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge thing in the off season that you just, you don't really think about it. You just kind of do it. And I think that's just kind of another part of the quarterback position. I think over the past 10, 15 years that has become like way more of a thing that, you see full rollouts, but then you see half rollouts where, guys will take 5 or 6 steps and reset. And it's all about, moving the pocket, moving the defense, getting them out of position, just creating more opportunities. But, I mean, I think on a mechanics standpoint, at the end of the day, it's throwing a football. So.
With the weight that you put on from the spring to now, can you tell the difference, like arm strength-wise, the way you play? Can you kind of tell how that's helping you on the field?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those almost 20 pounds that I put on has definitely helped a ton. But like, I'm happy I didn't put on 30, because I feel very good where I'm at as a weight wise. Like I remember I was talking to somebody the other day. I was like, I don't really feel 20 pounds heavier. I still feel like me, and that just all has to do with the strength and conditioning. That like we were running with that. So like I still feel like I have my speed and kind of my athleticism factor, that I just didn't get all bulky and slow down a lot. I kind of got to keep my speed. So I feel like I'm about like the same. So like I don't know. It's kind of weird. So
Like speed-wise and everything, it's the same.
Oh, yeah, I
It's
still-
arm strength is the only thing.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
The biggest thing.
I mean I still feel. I mean I definitely feel faster if anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, just overall strength too. So yeah.
Did you see RG3's tweet about you, and what's it like to like see people just so excited for your future here?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think like I really had anything to do with that though. Just because, I mean, I don't really know how to answer that.
Like have you? I mean, like to know that like somebody of that caliber recognizes talent in you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
Yeah, I mean, I've known him for a couple of years now, and he's always been a really good guy to me, just on a spiritual level too, and just somebody I've always really looked up to, just somebody I've always looked up to just for just like life stuff, and whether it was recruiting and just whenever I got here, and just all types of advice that he's been able to give me has been super nice, just to kind of have somebody like that's gone through it. He's won a Heisman. He's gone through the ups and downs of college football. He's played in the NFL. He's done it all, and at the point where he's at now. But it was definitely a nice comment of him. But I don't really think that it means anything. So.
Any questions for Cade from Zoom?
Yeah, Cade, go ahead. Cade, that touchdown pass to Will was remarkably identical to the run route Deshaun the Hunter run for to beat Alabama in 2016. Did you think about that at all? And back then, did Deshaun and that team kind of put Clemson on your radar, or were you already following Clemson at that point?
Oh yeah. I mean, I would say kind of the first time that they got to the playoffs, that really caught my radar. Austin's 17 hours away from here, so it wasn't really right down the road. But I would say that definitely put him on the radar for me. I remember a year before I committed here, my mom was like, if you could go anywhere, where would you want to go? And I was like, oh, Clemson. But that was like the biggest stretch in the world for me. because I didn't think that could really happen because all I'd done is play 3 games as a sophomore. And, here I am today, and I just, scored my first touchdown with Will. But I think the coolest part about that is, I saw the play, and I was like, that's pretty cool. That's the same play. And then we end up running it, and, of course, it was Will because it was, like, my best friend. So that was, like, super fun. I got to just experience that with him. And, it was his first touchdown also. So that was, like, awesome for him because he's been working his butt off since he got back. And he's going to be a really good player here. But that was an awesome experience and just super fun.
Growing up in the backyard of the Longhorns, did you get any backlash or pressure from friends or family about choosing Clemson?
Nothing serious. Nothing serious. Some jokes, but nothing serious. I knew that Clemson was where I wanted to be from the very start, just with Coach Sweeney and the culture that they've built here, and it was the easiest choice I've ever made. So.
Take one more for Cade if anybody's got one.
Cade, with Adam Randall, he's a guy we've heard a lot about and kind of what he can do. Just what's he going to bring to this offense when he's back healthy?
He's going to bring some stuff. I'm so excited to watch him play. I think it's not something you can describe. It's just going to happen. So.
All right. Thank you, Cade.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Everybody.